All right, here we are at our 1993 SeaRay 240 signature Bowrider for sale. We're here near the beautiful freshwaters of Norris Lake, Tennessee. Do have some highway noise that we're competing with today, so I do apologize for the sound. We'll do our best to make this as clear as possible as far as our commentary on it. This is a 3-owner boat. It has been here in the Norris Lake area since it was new, going all the way back to 1993. And this is powered by a 7.4 liter MerCruiser V8 inboard outboard Sterndrive engine with a Bravo 1 outdrive. We've got a stainless steel prop on it. All of that we will get to here for our video walk around tour. And as always, we will invite you to our website for the full list of specifications, features, current asking price, as well as all of our contact information. For your convenience, there will be a direct link to this one down in the video description that you'll either be able to copy and paste or click on, and you can open that up in a new tab or web browser, and that link is going to take you right to the photo slideshow page of this one at our website, which is where you're going to see all of our contact information as well as the current asking price. We don't mention the asking prices in the video tours because they will often change between when a video posts and when one is sold. So we're not trying to hide that from you at all. That's why we're putting the link there in that description, just for your convenience, so you easily be able to find that as well as our contact information. Again, we don't monitor the YouTube comment page, so if you do have any questions about this one, if you want to reach out to us to schedule time to come view it in person, submit an offer or anything like that, you're going to be able to do that through our website. That is at yournewboat.com. if you're not able to see that link down in the video description, and just click on the Find Your New Boat tab. It's going to show all of our inventory and order price, and all you got to do is scroll down until you get down to this one. This will be down near the bottom of that Find Your New Boat page. And again, it's the 1993 SeaRay 240 signature Bowrider for sale. And of course, we'll have all the particular specifications and features of this one all posted there, and of course, phone number where you can call or text, and a link to be able to email us as well. We do like to remind you, if you send us an email through the website, if it's been one business day you have not seen a reply, do check your spam folder. We're generally very quick about getting customer replies, emails replied to, all within the same day, sometimes a matter of a couple hours. But all right, so let's move ahead here. This is a clean boat, but we do have some dock rash around the exterior, okay? And we're going to get more up close and personal with this one as we get towards the latter parts of the video tour. I'm going to go ahead and do one walk around of this right now, and then we're going to climb inside, go through the interior, and then we'll finish up doing another walk around the exterior where we'll show you all those little marks on there. But this is I would consider to be in average condition for its age, maybe even above average condition for its age. Again, this has always been a freshwater boat, so with the exception of some exterior marks, I think you're going to be quite surprised with this one. So this is going to be an integrated swim platform. We've got a 3-step fold down swim boarding ladder. This is your ski tow hook right here. It's where you're going to pull all your skiers, your barrel inner tube, wakeboard, anything like that. This one's rated for 10. This is a fairly common layout for its age. This is kind of the back-to-back passenger and driver convertible bench seats. And we'll have photographs of the seat arrangement at the website when you look down into the photo slideshow page. I will see, I think this seat right here I can probably rather easily lay back for you if I can find the tab here. So these are going to there we go, give you an idea of what these convertible back-to-back seats do. Both of these are going to be able to do this, where you can kind of turn these into little sun lounge seats, and then of course they'll lift and slide right back into that position where you first saw it, and of course that will also lock into place. Your driver's seat's going to do the exact same thing, and then also you're going to be able to kind of slide this a little bit. It's going to have a little bit of room to go forward or back with it, depending on how close the driver needs to be or wants to be to that driver's seat. But you do have a little bit of slide on those, and you can lock that in position when you've got that seat at the right distance for you. There's going to be a little knob on the edge here, right down in that corner there. You're just going to tighten one of those knobs up, and that'll hold that seat in that position. So, turning here to our helm station here, we do have a Ritchie compass, and then your gauges consist of, we've got a fuel gauge, drive trim gauge, there's your oil pressure, there's your tachometer with an integrated hour meter that's showing 632.3 engine hours. There's your speedometer, engine temperature gauge, battery voltmeter, and a low Rance 3500 depth finder. And right here at the center of the dash, we've got a Clarion. This is an M205 AM, FM, USB auxiliary input stereo. I believe I got them all. So there's your FM. Oh, it's also Pandora. So it's AM, FM, USB auxiliary input, Pandora stereo. We've got 4 cockpit speakers, 4 Sony cockpit speakers, and then 2 small little, I believe these are tweeters up in the bow area. And we've also got a 400 watt stereo amplifier for that. We'll point that out here in a few. Nice little wood grain steering wheel. And we do have a functioning bilge pump, engine blower. The horn does not function. The horn did not pass function testing. We do have a couple interior lights that all checked out, and here's your depth finder switch, and then your navigation lights also all functioned. Now we've got a 12 volt power outlet, or at least it's wired for one. Now this did not pass function testing. This just needs a new little outlet, but it is wired for one, so that's an easy plug and play swap out if you do want to have a 12 volt charger, and that can be a quite convenient feature. So we've got a small in-floor storage locker. You've also got some storage underneath each of these back-to-back seats. And then over here in front of your passenger seat, we've got a small little integrated cooler that's going to drain down into the bilge. Stainless cup holder right here next to your passenger seat as well. We have, let's see, 2, 4, 6 cup holders. About 3 of those, I believe, are your stainless steel cup holder type. And then I'm going to go ahead and lift open our walk-through windshield here. Carefully lay that down. And actually, while I'm doing that, I'm going to point out here, you get a little bit of a bend here on this catch for this windshield. So, and that's also an easy replacement. Now, right now, I think it's still doing its job right now. Essentially, that's just meant to keep that windshield frame off the boat and from touching the glass. So it's still doing its job now, but just like to point things out like that. We like to represent these as accurate as possible. It does have a little bit of a bend to it, so might need to be replaced in time. So underneath your driver's helm here, we do have a small little enclosed head compartment. Okay, we've got a small little towel rack in here, a little storage shelf. Here's that Pyle Marine 400 watt amplifier. And we've got a small little light in here that also passed function testing, and then a small little Porta-Potti in here as well. So now a lot of people are going to use this for storage, but I will tell you it's quite handy if you've got small children, or even depending on who some of your boating companions are. They might appreciate having a Porta-Potti, and that can sometimes buy you a few extra hours out on the lake. So anything that's going to keep you on the water longer, in our opinion, is a great feature. So that is a lockable storage compartment as well. Now walking on up to our bow area here. Got a nice wide bow seating area here. And we do have the bow filler cushions. Okay, and that's going to consist of, you got a few little, these trays right here. I don't know if you can see this, we've got a little groove right here, and those trays are going to fill in that groove area there. And then you've got 2 filler cushions that's going to fill that in, make that entire area there more of a sun lounge as well. That is a very handy feature. This is also a good sized boat for at least Norris Lake in our area. If you are a weekend warrior, if you're only getting out on the weekends, it's going to have a kind of a larger, you know, the larger size 24-foot Bowrider. This is a little bit of a heavier boat, and it's got a nice deep V to it. It's good, so it's going to handle that rougher water very well. And you know, it's going to keep you from getting beat up in the bow of this boat compared to most of your 22 footer and smaller boats. This is going to have a much deeper bow, be able to, or deeper V on the hull line, be able to handle that rougher water a little bit easier. So the storage under, raise that one for you. Storage under this seat as well. That's where I've got a cockpit cover, bow cover, and then also your filler cushions for your bow seating up here. Here's these small little I believe those are tweeters there for your stereo system. Oops. And then up here on the bow, we've got a small little anchor hatch. You get a little bit of anchor and rode down here, or rope and rotor. Both essentially mean the same thing. Navigation light up there. You've got 2 cleats up here on either side. And looking back down our bow line, we've actually got 8 cleats on this one. This is something SeaRay was always pretty good about. So you got the 2 up here in the bow. You've got 1 right there about the middle of the boat. Another one about 1/3 of the way back. It's got right here. And then another one back even a little bit farther. That's gonna make storing this and getting it secured in your slip properly much more easier. Before we leave the bow area here, I do want to point out we've got a little mark in the fiberglass right there. I'll point that out to you right there. Upholstery up here is all in really good shape. And as I say that, of course, we got a small little piece right here where you got some wear on there right there. And there's a few more areas of that as we get on toward the back of the boat. We'll point out to you here in a few moments. So, all right, so we showed you how these seats worked. Of course, we pointed out that in-floor storage locker there. I'm gonna go ahead and raise our engine. Actually, before I raise our engine hatch, I want to call your attention to kind of another feature on this. Gives this boat a lot of versatility. Obviously, you've got these 2 little seats built in next to this engine cover, and you can take these seats, raise them up, and now you've got another sun lounge. So you've got the bow filler cushion, you've got the essentially kind of convertible seats right here. It's going to turn this into a little sun lounge as well. And this little tray right here will slide out here a little bit. It's got a catch on there right about there. Now that catch is a little bit wore out. You might tighten those screws down a little bit, keep that from coming all the way out. Now, these aren't really going to do you a whole lot of good as a cup holder if the boat is underway, but whenever you're anchored and floating, that will do its job of keeping your drink in place, and gives you a little bit of an additional surface there if you're having some snacks or happy hour or anything like that. Now, I'm going to pull these cushions out of the way, and in doing so, you're going to see kind of a few more wear areas on your upholstery right over here. I'll pull this one out of the way as well. And then this guy right in here is a little bit more kind of rips and tears in that vinyl. Now the actual seats where you're sitting down or laying, those are all pretty much free of any rips, tears, stains. You got this is a few little probably burn marks here, 2 there, 1 here, and just the start of 1 right there. When you lay that down all the way flat, you're going to see that. Another small little kind of burn right there. A little nick here and there in the sides. Okay, up here where your elbow is sitting, maybe for your driver. But otherwise, you know, in the actual seats and seat backs, they're all pretty much free of any rips or tears. There's another small little wear item right there in that corner, maybe where a passenger's elbow has been. So we've got a low profile Bimini top on this. Okay, and that's kind of stowed away right here. Another little wear area in that vinyl here we're gonna call your attention to. Okay, so this is kind of a low profile Bimini top. This is gonna slide out of there. This is where that's intended to be whenever it's stowed away. And that's gonna mount, see if I can find your mounts right here. This is one of the hooks for it right here. and that will actually snap onto your I believe that's going to snap onto the top of that windshield, and it is going to be a very low profile Bimini top. You're not going to have a whole lot of headroom under there. Now you can certainly put an aftermarket Bimini top on here, but that is where that Bimini was intended to go. Oh, actually they've taken the mount screws out. Now here's where that's going to mount right here. So you're actually going to have a little attachment point right there for that Bimini frame. And again, it is kind of that lower profile Bimini top. So just want to point that out to you. Most people are if you do like the shade, if you're not you know, if you can't handle the sun all day long, then most people are going to actually put a little bit more of a standard height Bimini top on here, and that's very easily done. That's available aftermarket. So now that I've kind of lifted this cover up where this Bimini is stowed, give a little bit of a pull here on your engine hatch. This guy's gonna lift right up, okay? Now, here's that 7.4 liter MerCruiser V8 inboard outboard Sterndrive engine. Again, this has 600, it was about 600 and under 635 engine hours on here. So there is a 71 gallon aluminum fuel tank, and we do have a small little Halon automatic fire extinguisher system. That's kind of back there in that corner right there. Not sure if you can see that. And we'll go ahead and lower this down. Bear with any shaky camera footage here. I got to use two hands here, and I need to pull this back as that goes down, and we can let it on down the rest of the way. Now we've got dual batteries. Those are going to be right through here. Okay, and you've got a small little, this is an access point to be able to get to those batteries right there. You can get to those easily right there. So, now I've kind of pointed out the wear items in the interior along the way. So we're going to go ahead and climb out of the interior and do that that one last kind of up close and personal walk around the exterior. All right, so bear with me here. Up on down. This would be a good time to get closer to our Bravo 1 outdrive. Here's that. It's a Quicksilver Mirage 3-blade stainless prop. We do have a little bit of wear on this outdrive right here. That is common. Now, if you're going to be staying in the water all the time, this boat does have bottom paint, but it is going to be due to be repainted if you are going to leave this in the water and not keep it on the trailer or put it on a lift. And then also your anodes here could use being changed if you're going to be keeping it in the water long term. Now, we always do like to kind of look at your bellows in here, and we've got a newer exhaust bellows that's been put on. I believe that's your shift bellows. That looks like it's got some nice pliability on it. That looks like it's still good to go for a little while. A little bit of cracking in this hose right here, but it does not look severe at all. Actually, it's still got some good flex to it. So outdrive looks like it's going to be fairly good to go, at least in the near future. Now should point out that the bunks are getting replaced on this trailer right here. This back corner of this bunk has bent down a little bit in the fall whenever they loaded this boat on the trailer, whenever they hauled it out for the winter. So that is going to be getting replaced. Now, we're gonna actually let's do 2 laps around here. I'm gonna stay above the rub rail the first lap around, so show you these little items. Now, most of the wear above the rub rail are just kind of a little bit of marks in your decaling. But here is a little scratch down into that gel coat right there. Now we got this little bit of black streak right here. Well, I think you could see that it just rubbed right off with my fingers right there. That's just a little bit of dirt that's kind of come off of that cockpit cover. This is going to clean up just fine. Okay, so we're not really going to focus on any of that. Okay, that's just where it's been sitting out here. And that water kind of runs over that top, and it just makes streaks with that dirt a little bit. All that's gonna gonna clean up just fine. And this boat was detailed very recently, and of course that's part of why that just wipes off so easily. But also for any of the dock rash on here, it's already been buffed and waxed, so what you're gonna see in the video is what's gonna stay. You're not gonna be able to get rid of that. Small little stress crack right here at the edge of that accent stripe. Want to call that to your attention. Okay, and then again, this is where we've got just some wear on that little vinyl striping, and then again, here's some more of that kind of dirt that's just come off that cover. And because this was detailed very recently, you can see that just wipes right off of there. Okay, so all right, staying above the rub rail, you got a few marks in the rub rail along the way. This nice stainless steel inserted rub rail, and then up here near the here near the front, we got a little bit of fiberglass showing right there. That's where it's got into a dock somewhere over the years. No little mark in the rub rail there. It's just a little bug. That's just more dirt up there. Yep, is that dirt too? Yep, that's dirt as well. Coming right on along. And then again, we can get back into this little accent striping where you got some wear in that as well. And that's continuing around the corner here. Okay, now right here where this swim ladder folds up, let me show you the swim ladder here. So this is gonna fold up right here, and it's actually got these two little pads right here where it's gonna rest on. Okay, but now somewhere along the way, we got like what appears to be screw holes right here. So probably from the inside out, maybe they were trying to put down something to secure that ladder a little bit better, but do have that back here in the back. And then again, these little streaks right here, that's just from the cover. That's gonna come right off of there. Okay, so we're not gonna sweat those details there. All right, now we're gonna get below the rub rail here, and again, you're in this rub rail and in your vinyl decaling, you are going to have kind of some tears in that, but we're going to try to show you the dock ratch and any scratches that may be on here. And then you get a little bit right here in this corner. To me, that just looks like where that bottom paint is kind of peeling off. Now this is a small little scratch through the bottom paint here, but I'm not seeing any indication that that went any farther than the bottom paint. And there's some of that striping. Okay, so now seeing a little bit of a come a scratch right in that gel coat. My finger's not catching an edge right there, but again, that did not go away whenever they buffed and waxed this, so that is gonna be around for the foreseeable future. And then you got some other marks up here in the gel coat along the way, and then this is where you're getting into some of that dock rash. You got these small little hairline scratches in that gel coat right there. And I'm going to be kind of moving the camera angle so that you can try to see these, because a lot of times these are going to kind of hide in that just in that gel coating. A little bit of like a stress crack right in here. There's some more wear on that vinyl stripe, and then again you got these marks right in here. Okay, so we're just kind of taking the camera up and down just to let the light catch it just right, so you can kind of see these areas that we're talking about. We're also going to try to have photographs of this as well, so if you do make it over the website in that photo slideshow page, generally we're going to kind of handle the photo slideshow the same way we do the video tour. We're going to walk around the exterior of the boat, and then through the interior, engine room, out drive, and then we kind of go back and start showing you wear and tear. Generally on our photo slideshow, we're going to try to show you the vinyl wear and tear, the interior wear and tear first, and then we're going to go around the exterior. There's another area of that dock rash right in there. But yeah, small little nick in the gel coat right in here, just right there along the edge. And then this is how you know when that bottom paint is coming due. You're starting to see a little bit of white popping out through that bottom paint. This also, you know, this is kind of a little mark where it's removed your bottom paint, but it no indication that it's gone any farther than that. But yeah, so if you're planning on keeping this on the trailer or not in the water for more than a week at a time, I wouldn't worry about bottom painting it, but at any point you will be in the water for more than a week at a time. That's when you want to go ahead and think about having this bottom paint redone. If you're thinking about you know, having it in the water during the season, that's when you want to do that bottom paint. Get a fresh bottom paint on there. So a few more of these little lines kind of in your gel coat up here. Now this is one, when you back away from this, you get about 3 feet back and you don't even really see any of this, and it's got a really nice nearly oxidation free shine to it. But then when you get up here closer, now we've got some marks here in the gel coat here, and then you see it like a little bit of a white in there, maybe a little bit of a sparkle in there, and this is where they've just really gotten in there buffing and trying to get rid of some oxidation. And eventually you get to a point you kind of got to stop to keep from washing that gel coat out. But got a nice shine to it, mostly free of oxidation, but you do have some of that dock rash kind of throughout. Now up here on the bow line, this is where you're going to see a lot of nicks generally from putting this on and off of a trailer. Try to show you these. We've talked about kind of how to avoid these. Most of the time when you're getting into this bow line, it's either from going up too far in a boat slip, or coming up onto a trailer, and generally it's from when the trailer is too deep in the water, because as you come up the trailer, the bunks aren't there to slow you down and catch you, and you end up hitting some of your hardware up here and marking it up. Generally when you are loading these boats, we talked about this before, back in the water all the way beyond your bunks. Get all of your bunks nice and wet. You're not going to leave it there. You're just going to get all the bunks wet, and then you're going to start to pull up. As a general rule, that water level is kind of right there about the where you just got the top of that fender. Now it's going to vary a little bit depending on how steep your boat ramp is, but that's usually where I like to start, where you just got enough of that fender sticking out of the water. And then generally, and again, you want those bunks nice and wet, the carpeting on there, so that boat will slide on that some. And then when you're at that depth, you're generally not going to be too deep, and your bunks are going to slow you down a little bit. Of course, you want to approach that trailer nice and slow. Don't want to carry a lot of speed on it there, just slow enough to get on there straight. Even if you get that bow in the center line, or if you're close, generally the bow will find the center line, and then you can just drive on up until you slowly get closer and closer to being able to hook your winch strap on there. So a few little marks right in here on this side, and then we've got a small little scratch in that gel coat right in there. And then going down the rest of the way, all kind of appears to be good. Again, this is kind of some more of those just marks in that bottom paint. None of those feel to me, well, you got a little bit of an edge right in here, just a little bit. But we do have some other marks in here. Yeah, this is fairly smooth right here. So when I see something like that on the bottom paint, but it's a smooth surface, then it's probably just enough of a scratch where it kind of nicked off that bottom paint, but actually didn't actually get into the boat. It's same here, just above this bunk. This is smooth right in here. Okay, so that's just probably from where the bunks have just kind of just scratched that bottom paint just enough to rub the paint off, but you're not actually going into the boat and damaging that hull. Now, backing up just a little bit here, we had another one of those little scratches right here in the gel coat. And then I'm going to back up again. So starting back here up at the edge of that bow, we've already kind of shown that. I'm going to go up and down on the gel coat over here so you can see these marks. A little bit of that dock rash continuing down this side in a few areas. Obviously some areas worse than others. A bit more dock rash in here. As we finish up this side, we do like to remind you, if you call us on the phone, you get our voicemail, and you do want to return phone call, please make sure you leave us a message. Let us know if you do one better. Let us know which listing you're looking at, what questions you have. We're very often in areas without cell phone reception, and so if you don't leave a message, we will not know that you called. If you take the time, leave us a detailed message, let us know what questions you have. Whenever we either return to cell phone service area or finish up with the customer, we'll be able to we'll receive that message. We do have part of that S in the SeaRay logo is popped off right here. We'll get that message and be able to return your call and answer all those questions for you. That's down through the gel coat just a little bit there. Some of these marks a little bit worse than others. But this is all up above the water line. Another one there in the gel coat, another one here. And again, that's just kind of a mark in that bottom paint. A few more over here in this corner right here, coming around this corner of the rub rail. I believe we started right here. You already saw that guy. So that's pretty much gonna do it here. So again, this is the 1994 SeaRay 240 signature Bowrider for sale here near the beautiful freshwaters of Norris Lake, Tennessee. Trailer tires are in need of replacement, so if you're wanting to pick this up and go in a distance with it down the interstate, we can coordinate with you to get those replaced before you leave the area with it. And if you're sticking around the Norris Lake area with it, you might, and the trailer is just, you know, if the boat's going to be going to the water and the trailer's just going to be sitting in a field somewhere or in a barn somewhere, then it's probably not worthwhile to replace those tires. So as I mentioned, you know, as soon as you back off of there, the boat's got a nice shine to it, and you know, really is a clean boat, less the dock rash around the exterior. Getting about 635 hours on that 7.4 liter MerCruiser Bravo 1 Outdrive. Here's that nice deep V hull. It's really going to handle the water, even the rough water, if you're a weekend warrior out there on any part of the lake. So that's going to wrap things up for us here today. Again, 1993 SeaRay 240 signature Bowrider for sale. Again, visit the website, use that link down in the video description for it's there for your convenience. And do reach out to any questions. Two things going to be popping up on your screen as we conclude. Top left hand corner is going to be a direct link over to our current listings playlist there at our YouTube channel. That's at youtube.com/yournewboat. Top right hand corner of the screen is going to be a shortcut for you to subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're happy to have you as a subscriber, and I thank you again for joining us. Again, this is the 1994 SeaRay 240 signature Bowrider for sale. Again, here just off of Norris Lake, Tennessee, and I thank you again for joining us.